Hi everyone, this is Seema Mehta and my wonderful partner Deepma Jadeja from The Confident Communicator. How is the year 2022 treating you, Deepma? So far,
Amazing so far. It's been 5 days.
awesome. The reason
Awesome.
why I ask
I'm
is
very excited. I'm very excited that 2022 is going to be an amazing year for all of us.
I think that's why people make resolutions, right? Because they always hope that something good will happen in the next year. We always hope, we always look at our future very positively. So, first of all, wishing all our parents, students, viewers, supporters, friends, family a very, very happy new year from us
Happy New
at the
Year.
Confident Communicator. We are so excited to restart this year with so many new ideas and thoughts and products that we are coming up with this year at the Confident Communicator. We thought we'll start off this imperfect parenting conversation as something a little bit more personal. We
Yeah.
thought we'll talk a little bit about us and our families and how we spent our holidays. And we'd love to hear from you what was the one unique thing that you guys did during the holidays. So I think that I'll hand it over to Deepma to talk a little bit about how her holiday was. I know that both of us have kids who are in the university and they came during the summer, during the winter, sorry, winter break, and they joined us for a short period of time and we huddled together as a family and did some wonderful things. So over to you, Deepma. Tell us what you did during the holidays.
Absolutely. I just wanted to talk a little bit about why is it that we think we like new starts or fresh starts, right? We always make New Year's resolutions. We always want to start something new on a Monday, or you want to start something new on the first of the month. And I think it's because we get a chance, energetically to kind of wipe the slate clean and say, oh, whatever I didn't do or couldn't do or
Right.
didn't get to, I'm doing now. So that's the reason why I don't want, when people sometimes roll their eyes at New Year's resolutions and say, oh, okay, whatever, it's going to be broken. I want to approach it with a little bit more excitement and enthusiasm, because it always gives you that chance of doing something new and succeeding, giving
Yes.
yourself the chance to succeed.
And
Even
that's
if
so
you didn't
important, right?
have
You need to first forgive yourself and not worry about, oh, I didn't meet any of my goals, because really it doesn't matter. The life is about the journey. It's not about the eventuality. It is about the journey. So we got to enjoy the journey. We got to make mistakes. We got to have fun. We talk about it in our classes all the time. We encourage our kids. And I think
Absolutely.
it's time to talk to the adults. And that's exactly why today's session is very important, because we feel like we need to talk to the adults and tell them that you don't have to beat yourself up. At the same time, there are a few steps that you can take to make
Yeah.
your new year resolution a little bit firmer and more doable, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But tell us about your holiday. Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. We always talk about vulnerability, right? And what better way to be vulnerable than to be excited? And
Yes.
I noticed that actually around the end of last year, around December, is when I was in a very negative state of mind, because I was very sad that my son was coming for only 10 days. He had only a 10 or 11-day break between a Christmas break, because there's universities on the quarter system. So
Correct.
he had already started the winter quarter and he just had a 10-day break. And so I was feeling very bad about, oh, he's coming after 6 months and I'm going to see him only for 10 days and things like that. And then I started telling myself, I've got to be excited about it. Otherwise, I'm going to make him miserable in the
Correct.
10 days. Now, what we did, because my son is a very enthusiastic and very friendly, very extroverted person
Very energetic for sure.
who
Yeah.
has a lot of friends. And so I knew that one of the things that we would butt heads over is how much time he was spending with friends and not spending with us. So what we decided was, we took a 3-day vacation out of Bangalore. We went out of Bangalore to Kodaikanal, and we just crunched in all of the fun times and the happy times and the hugs and the cuddles and the staying close together as much as we could into those 3 days, so that then we wouldn't mess up the rest of his vacation by complaining and
Correct.
by being, unhappy about him going out to meet his friends or him going out for lunch or dinner or whatever. So that was one of the things
That
that I
was
did.
very
And I was,
mature, Deepa.
thank you. And but it came the hard way, right? I had to be vulnerable with him. And
Correct.
I had to tell him that the reason, because he wasn't happy about having, as soon as he came, 2 days later, we were off to another destination. And I
Yeah.
had to be vulnerable with him and say, I want you to have fun with everyone that you want to have fun with, but I want you to myself for these 2, 3 days. So give me this, and then I won't complain. And so when I did that, I think he got it.
And
And
that's a beautiful family
yeah,
goal. I think that's a beautiful family goal where I think it's not so hard on him. I'm sure he
yes,
wants to meet his friend, but I'm sure he wants to spend time with you guys also. So I
he
think
did.
it's a beautiful thought that you actually thought not about just about your own feelings, but also his, taking that
Yes,
into account. And that's what makes a family goal very successful, when we all come together and think about what each person really needs and
yes.
wants, right?
And help them achieve that, right? So
And
I
what did you
knew he
do
wanted
during
fun.
the holidays to push yourself out of the comfort zone? We
Oh
talked
my
about we
goodness.
talk about pushing yourself outside the comfort zone, because there is bliss on the other side of the comfort zone. There is magic and outside of the panic zone. So what did you do to get out of
Oh goodness. So, Seema, I grew up in a very small flat in Bombay,
it? You all did in Bombay.
as did you. Yeah,
Yes,
as did you.
all of us did.
But I was also, being an only child, very, very overprotected. And so
Yeah.
I never learned to cycle when I was a kid. I never learned
I didn't
cycling.
know that.
And yeah, I
Oh,
never cycled. And then, by the time I wanted to, because everyone else could, it was too late. I couldn't balance. I was too scared of falling off. All of those others limiting beliefs that we talk
yes,
of
yes.
kept coming in, and I never did it. I never did it. Ah, huge breakthrough this vacation. I got onto a tandem bicycle with my husband, because I can't do it on my I still can't cycle on
But
my own.
that's a great idea. It's so fun to
But
do that.
yeah, and it was something that, again, like you said, helped me do something with all three of them.
Yes,
Otherwise, when they would cycle, I was always left out, right? I
yes.
was always doing something else, and I made my peace with that. I didn't have a problem. But this time I wanted to be part of the,
But what a great solution.
yep. So
Was
we
it
wanted to
fun? Did
be
you enjoy it?
part of the awesome foursome. No, I was terrified. I was scared. Every time a bus honked, and you know how loud those honks are of the
Yes.
bus, it would honk at the back, and I'd just be like, "Ugh," I'd freeze. And I have a picture, Seema. My daughter took a picture of my hand after the 30-minute ride around the
Was
lake.
red.
No, the whole handlebar, the design of the handlebar was
You were
imprinted.
holding on so tight.
But like you said, on the other side of fear is bliss.
Yeah.
And now when I'm talking about it, I'm like, all right, I did it. I did it. Yeah, I was petrified,
So what
but
you're
I
saying
did it.
is that you all were not glued on to the television. You were not on the cell phone or the mobile phone. You all were
No,
not watching Instagram or Facebook or any of those things. But you were out there in nature with your family, the people you love the most, and pushing your limit. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful story and a wonderful holiday. That sounds great.
I I had to talk about the comfort zone because we keep talking about
We
it. So I
talk
have
about
to
it.
say, you know what? We're afraid, we're scared, we have those, boundaries that other people might find really minuscule.
Yeah.
But when we feel so happy when we push ourselves out of it, like everyone else, you did something to push yourself out of your comfort zone
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I had similar family goals. The my younger daughter, she's a teenager, and one thing that I've noticed this entire year, with her being online all the time, I've seen that a bit of an addiction on the phone. She
Absolutely.
The only way she takes a break out of her studies is that she stays on the phone, and she's almost like, I feel like she's like a zombie. So I
Mm.
was very concerned about that. So this year we decided that we will take a holiday in a place where most people will say, why would you go there in winter? Nobody goes there in winter, and
Correct.
nobody does this in the winter.
I
We
said
went,
that to you too. Yeah.
yeah, everybody says that, and
Yeah.
I had a lot of resistance from the family, saying that no, 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 I think we should go to not such a cold place. So we ended up going to Rishikesh, and Rishikesh is the capital of yogis and ashrams and all those things. And of course, I had no interest in doing any of those things. But what I really, really wanted to do, and I've been pushing it off for the last 2 years, is I wanted to do river rafting. And
Mm.
I was a little worried that the temperatures were like 6, 7 degrees to 16 degrees over there. We chose a resort which had no television. It had a lot of steps, about 70 steps just to reach our hotel room. Beautiful place called Atali Ganga, and hi to the folks at Atali Ganga, wonderful resort. And from there, we went to river rafting to the Ganga River, and we did it 2 times. The first time we did it, it was great. It was so wonderful to have everybody come together as a team, paddling and fighting against the rapid as a team, coming together as a team, pushing each other, motivating each other, because there were some scary moments, when those rapids come at you. It is terrifying, but it was
Yeah.
more exhilarating than terrifying. And we were all making sure that we were all safe. The second time we went river rafting, we said, you know what? My oldest daughter said, I think if we don't end up in the river, the Ganga River, which is the purest river of India, I don't think that we will do justice to this trip. And it was icy cold. And I got a lot of claustrophobia. So for me, getting into the river is a terrifying, terrifying experience. But because she said that, I said, you know what? This is my opportunity to push the limit, push my boundaries. We're going to do it. We not only jumped into the Ganga River, but of all 5 of us that were on the river, on the raft, chose to continue to swim downstream for about half a kilometer, holding onto a kayak. And it was just me, the river, and the sky. It was a fantastic opportunity. And when I go back to the trip, and we did a lot of other things also, we did trekking, we did, went to Mumbai, we had a lot of fun, lot of different experiences. When I asked my children what was the best part about our holidays, they said that river, that dip in the Ganga River, hands down, was some of the best things we did. The second thing that they said they remembered a lot was that after we came back to the resort, because there was no television, we were playing board games. We played so many
Yes.
games. This was definitely one of them. So a lot of
Uh-huh.
competitions happened. We played Uno. We played a lot. We had so much fun. We played cards. Those are the things that children remember. And I realized that as parents, we have to watch our children. And I saw that my daughter, who usually is very gloomy and constantly glued to her phone, was smiling and laughing. There are so many beautiful pictures of her with that smile on her face. And I don't think we could have done this if we were constantly stuck to the phone. And I think that I want to reach out to a lot of parents and say, you know what? Our kids are getting seriously addicted. It's like dopamine. The phone is working like a dopamine. We are getting so addicted. There's a little pleasure that they get out of it, but there's also anxiety. There's also depression. There's a lot of that is happening to our children. My daughter actually voluntarily handed over the phone to me this year. Once her school started, and said, I don't want to use the phone anymore because it's making me sad. And I said, okay, I will hand it to you at the end of the day. She has not asked for it. And I think that's the key. We've got to recognize signs that our children are getting depressed, they're getting anxious, and it is all because of that online addiction that they are having. It's playing the part. And addiction is like that, right? Addiction of anything, whether it's television, love, anything, cigarettes, smoking, alcohol. It
Alcohol.
gives you a
Yeah.
few moments of pleasure, but honestly, what your children will remember are those memories that we created. They are not going to remember anything else. And I think
Correct.
that's what we want to do this year, where we want to focus on making those memories rather than focusing on something that just leads to addiction and anxiety. So that was our holiday. We had a great time. It
Wow.
was so good, and we are so energized and so happy to be back and excited to get
Yeah.
back to work. Everybody is excited to do their work. We had a great time together. Now everyone has set up their own goals, and that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. I know, Deepma, you and I have struggled with maintaining our goals, and that's why one of the reasons why we created this book, My Life My Way, is because there was one interesting thing that I remember Deepma saying, and Deepma, I want you to talk about it a little bit, where most people who set resolutions, they break them. We break resolutions. Resolutions are meant to be broken. That's also a
Yeah.
saying, right?
That's
And
one
why,
of those sayings.
all
Yeah.
those sayings, why resolutions are meant to be broken. Why are resolutions broken? The reason for that is because A, we don't set realistic goals. B, our intentions are not very clear. And C, our belief systems are not clear. And I think Deepma, who's really in our company, the expert at the law of attraction, she can talk a little bit about why law of attraction also doesn't work. Everyone says, yeah, let me ask the universe for $1 million. If you say it 10 times, you think you're going to get $1 million. It doesn't work that way. So how does
Yeah.
it work, Deepa?
I,
How does it work?
I think that's what happens, right? Everything that we get into, we want it to be like Amazon Prime, instant delivery, right? And
Instant
that doesn't
gratification,
happen.
yes.
Yeah, that doesn't happen, right? And that is what this generation, even us included in it, have gotten used to. Everything becoming quicker, faster, more immediate.
Yes,
And we want our dopamine also quicker, faster, more immediate. So
absolutely.
we're not willing to take the long term into it. So having realized that, I think instead of just sitting down and crying about this generation having all these problems and wanting everything instantly, what I think we should do is maybe take our goals, take our My Life My Way, and we've got a habit tracker in there.
Yes.
Break down your goals into smaller habits, micro habits, right? So now supposing one of my goals is to be healthy. Now to be healthy is this very overarching goal,
Very
and
wide, yeah.
I'm almost
And people
100% to
always connect
fail at it.
healthy as weight loss, right? I mean, it's not
Yes.
necessarily just weight loss. Yeah, if you are overweight and you need to lose weight, that's fine. But I think before we do that and before we even put it into the habit tracker, the first thing that we really need to do is to be very clear about our belief system. And
Exactly.
our
So
belief
set
system is,
your intention.
yeah, your belief system is something that forms in your subconscious mind by the time you are 6 or 7 years old. And you will be
Yes.
surprised that that same belief system stays in your subconscious mind for the next 50, 60 years. It doesn't go away. So what can we do, Deepma, to remove that belief system so that we can
Belief
then be very clear about our intentions and what we want to do?
And that's how we have to use the different pieces of the law of attraction. The law of attraction is not, like you said, very beautifully in the beginning, where it's not, oh, I think positively and I say some 4 or 5 positive affirmations, so now I should get what I want. Oh, I didn't get what I want. Law of attraction is bogus.
Yeah.
You see how it goes? And that's not how it works. So take your intentions, set your intentions, now start tackling your belief system and start saying, what about whatever it is that I believe or whatever it is that I'm doing, what about it was put into my brain at 8 years old or 9 years old or 7 years old, right? And what is working for me, what helps me, what I can use, and what is stuff that doesn't work for me anymore, what is toxic for me, what can I throw away. That's the first step. So throw away the beliefs that don't work for you. For example, when I talked about cycling and never having cycled and being
Yeah.
terrified of
Correct.
it, what was the belief system that was in me is that, oh my god, I will fall off the cycle. Okay, what will happen if you fall off the cycle? You might sprain an ankle or you might break a bone. Okay, so what will happen? And you have to go through that and say, really, are any of those things likely to happen? If
Mm.
they're not likely to happen, that belief system I can throw away,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Then we go into our goals. And like I said, if you say, I want to be healthy, or I want my children to be healthy. And remember, we had the Urvashi on one of our imperfect parenting
Yes.
episodes. And she talked about getting the children into the kitchen, asking
Correct.
them what they think, asking for their opinions, and then setting micro goals. A micro goal could be as simple as, we will, over a period of 7 days, try to eat all the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Simple.
And I think I remember Achal Kejriwal, who talked about organizing your closet, where she said,
Yes.
we as parents want our children to organize their closet in a certain way, but they probably want to do it in a different way. For example, my daughter and I feel like we should stack clothes up, and she thinks that we should hang them up, and then she color codes it. But that's what works for her. So we have to include our children and allow their own what works for them come into the picture. And to
Correct.
go back to the belief system, a lot of people, one of the biggest goals for them is weight loss. We have to
Mhm.
really look deeper into why do we need to lose weight. Let's really talk very specifically about, why do you need to lose weight? Is it just because you are looking fat and you don't look good? Is it because people make fun of you? Is it because you are unhealthy? Let's really dive really deep
Deeper.
into what the reasons are
Yeah.
before we set any goals. Because if we don't do that, those are the resolutions that are going to break immediately. Within the first week only, you will lose that. So let's
Exactly.
walk through that exercise, and therefore that goal system and that belief system has to be addressed.
Addressed. Yeah. And then you can break it down into micro goals, right? You can
Right.
break it down into the SMART goals, where you say, I will tackle only this part in this month.
Correct.
And you set yourself, instead of setting yourself up for failure, you set yourself up for success. What
Correct.
is it that I could do, that I will do realistically, that I will do for 30 days? Bus.
Correct. Correct.
Only that much.
Correct.
And then you do it. I remember even Shipra, who's our
A big
resident,
coach.
yeah, yeah, the yoga and the mindfulness guru. And
Yes.
she was talking about, how she just set small goals for herself and her daughter, and
Yeah.
they both would go out for a walk. Then they made the walk, they'll run for 1 minute, they'll walk for 2 minutes, then they'll
Mhm.
run for 2 minutes, they'll walk for 2 minutes. You know how she went on.
Gradually increasing.
That's
Yeah.
what I love. That's what I, because if as a parent, you embrace your vulnerability and say, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I can't run anymore. I have to walk. The children automatically realize that it's okay. It's okay to feel tired. Otherwise, they think that they have to be Michael Jordan on day
Yeah.
one. And that's not going to
Actually,
happen.
Michael Jordan, I remember an interview of Michael Jordan, one of the biggest basketball player in the world, talking about how one of the reasons why he became successful is that he only competed with himself. He said
Hmm.
every single time a basket, I would not throw a basket. It's I had to push my own boundaries.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we must do when we set goals for ourselves is not look at what other people are doing, but focus on what is important to you.
Yeah.
Your goals don't have to be the same as somebody else's. It cannot be. It will not work. I can tell you right now. Don't even bother. Don't waste your time writing down goals which somebody else has written down, because it's not going to work. You
Yeah.
are unique. You have to do what works for you. So that's the first step, really understanding that. And I
And
love the way.
you set yourself up for happiness also. Na, Seema,
Exactly.
you
I was
become so
about to
much
say that.
happier
That
when you
focus
accept
on the
yourself.
success rather than the failure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's why I love the 3, 4 products that we have made. One is the self-care cards, the affirmation cards, and our My Life, My Way. One of the reasons why all these products we brought them together is because we really believe that in order to practice the law of attraction and manifest our intentions into reality, we have to do all the
All
steps.
the steps. Yes.
First, you have to look inwards and understand what is it that your belief system is. If there are some belief systems that are not working for you, you need to get rid of them and discard them, what we call the yuck sheet. Get rid of those, reprogram our mind, and then
Yes.
set the goals for ourselves and create your own vision board.
Yes.
Along with that, you must have a positive mind. How do you have a positive mind? If you constantly do affirmations.
Yes.
Second, if you constantly do self-care, which is
Self-care.
why I am so proud of one of the things that we have done as a company is that we always believe that let's give people the tools that will actually work. There is no point in creating a journal that people will say, "Oh, I wrote it the first month, then I forgot about it." No, we
Correct.
need to give you tools that will actually work for you. So I would encourage everybody to look at some of our products, the self care cards, the magic mantra
We'll
affirmation
link it
cards.
down. Yeah. We'll
We'll
link
put
it
it on a
into
link. Do
yeah.
look at them and just see if that works for you. And we are very happy to guide anybody who wants to. In fact, Deepma is working on a new course, which is the law of attraction. We are very excited about it and how it
Wow.
really works. Really busting the myths of it's not just saying that, oh, I want $1 million in the bank. How do you arrive at that point?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one thing she's going to talk about, and I'm very excited about that.
And
Uh,
the affirmation cards, I just wanted to say both the affirmation cards as well as, and I forgot to bring the box here, so I can't show it. But the affirmation cards and the self care cards,
yeah,
both of them tackle the words that we say to ourselves. And where do we say words to ourselves? In our thoughts, when we talk out loud, and when we write. Those are the three times when we use words. And we have to focus on saying positive words. I don't mean toxic positivity. I don't mean, oh, even if things are going badly, we have to try to put a positive spin on it. No, no, no. If things are going badly, analyze it, see why it is going badly, feel the feelings of it going badly, and then focus on how do you bring yourself back to normal. So I'm not talking about toxic positivity, but I'm talking about the positive words that we say to ourselves. And the affirmation cards and the self-care cards both do that so beautifully by reprogramming your subconscious mind. The more you read those cards, the more you'll start using positive affirmations in your normal life, and you will
yeah.
become more positive, and
And
that
one
will help.
example, I can give a very personal example. Like when I talk to my daughter about setting some, like she's in the 11th grade. So this is a very important year for her academically when applications to colleges and all go, academics start mattering. And I told her that, what would you like to set your goal as for this particular subject?
Hmm.
And she would always give me a slightly very, very low goal. And I asked her, why would you say that? She says, because I really don't believe that I can get more than this. So I said,
Ah,
do you know that all your success is tied to your belief system? If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Which means you are telling the universe, this is what I think I deserve. And therefore, the universe is going to give you that. So if you
correct.
don't want to get that, then you've got to put out there that you deserve more. And for that, those positive words that you were talking about really matter.
Yes.
Using the affirmation cards really matters.
Yes.
Saying repeatedly, programming your mind, because we constantly berate ourselves. As human
Yes.
beings, we constantly say, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not tall
Yes.
enough, I'm not short enough. I mean, there are so many things we criticize, the self deprecation, the criticism the critical words that we use to ourselves.
Yes.
We replace all of that with positivity.
Correct, correct.
Is there any?
I just am reminded on an Instagram post just this morning. I was scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah.
Children, don't do that. But but as I was scrolling, there was one person. This is the New Year week, right? So someone said, "What is the one thing that you would like to change of yourself?" Right? And there was this young lady who said, "I'd like to change my skin color and I'd like to change my height. I'm only 5 feet." And the response that the person gave, the influencer, whoever, I can't remember who it was, said, don't ever try to or want to change something that is God given,
Yeah.
because you're disrespecting God when you are saying, I want to change my skin color, which is completely God given. You can't change it and you shouldn't want to. Your height, it's determined by your genes. And I realized that about myself, being a shorter person, being a person who grew up a little bit insecure about the skin color. I realized that the day I started accepting myself is the day that I was happier. The day that I accepted I'm never going to be a size 0, I was so happy. Because okay, now I've taken that
I
goal
don't
out
have
of
to
the
worry about
market.
it anymore.
I don't have to worry about it. Let me worry on an achievable goal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so that is something that's very important. And that's again that self talk. You've got to go within. And you parents have to do that for yourself so that then you can help your children do it as well.
Absolutely. And I think that these are great tips, great conversations. And I think that we are excited that the 2022 year has come. We are lining up some very exciting guests for our Imperfect Parenting series. We want to express our utmost gratitude to all our viewers, everybody who has appreciated our conversations, who have commented, who have sent us personal messages. That thank you so much for being part of this journey, and we're all learning from each other.
Yes,
I'm very proud to say that I am an imperfect parent, and I'm okay with it. And I think that we all have to embrace our imperfections. We have to
absolutely.
embrace our vulnerabilities, as Deepma said. And from the bottom of our heart, we want to wish all our viewers a very, very happy, successful, joyful, and a very healthy new year. Have a great time, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
Happy New
Thank you.
Year again.
Bye.
Bye.